Welcome everyone to the May 8, 2018 Agenda Committee meeting. Please give your attention to the emergency evacuation procedures.
Before we get started, let me read the emergency evacuation procedures. In the event of an emergency evacuation, an alarm will sound. Everyone should exit the building by way of the nearest stairwell in a safe and effective manner. If the nearest stairwell is blocked by smoke, use the other stairwell. Do not use the elevator. Once you have reached the main floor, follow the exit signs to exit the building and quickly proceed away from the building. Please be mindful of others evacuating and of emergency vehicles.
Committee will come to order. Are all members present signed into the meeting?
Mr. Chairman, you have 17 members present. Commissioners Allen, Bennett, Carter, and King are absent.
Commissioner Allen had a conflict with work. Commissioner Bennett is at home recovering. He wanted me to tell everyone that everything is going great, and he expresses his thanks for all the thoughts and prayers. We do have a quorum. The chair will stand for motion to set the agenda.
So moved.
Commissioner Carver. Commissioner French seconds. Commissioner Bowers, you recognize?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to remove item F12 from tonight's agenda. It's concerning the Chromebooks. F11, I'm sorry.
F11?
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Item F11, Resolution 1805-017 is removed if there's no objection. Vote yes to set the agenda, vote no not to set the agenda.
Commissioner Stinnett, have you voted? Okay. Mr. Chairman, there are 17 yes votes.
The agenda is set. Next item is public input on items on the agenda. Seeing no hands, we will move on. Next item is approval of the agenda minutes. Chair will stand for motion to approve the minutes. Commissioner Lewis. Commissioner Lewis moves. Is there a second? Second. Commissioner Bauer seconds. Please vote.
Mr. Chairman, there are 17 yes votes.
Minutes are approved. Next item is item D, consent calendar. Chair will entertain a motion to forward the consent calendar to the full commission. Commissioner French moves. Commissioner Lewis seconds. Please vote to forward the consent calendar.
Mr. Chairman, there are 17 yes votes.
Consent calendar will be forwarded to the full commission. At this time, I want to recognize Representative Moon for a special presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Tennessee Comptroller of the Treasury, I'd like Mayor Mitchell and Randy Vineyard to come forward. This certificate is proudly presented to Blount County in recognition of its clean financial and compliance audit report for the fiscal year June 30, 2017. The audit report completed by the Office of the Comptroller of Treasury contains 0 findings and is an indication of the county's strong system of internal controls and exemplary financial reporting in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles, presented by me on behalf of Justin P. Wilson, Comptroller of the Treasury. Mr. Chairman, if I could approach.
Yes.
Ask the Chairman Farmer to join me. Anyone else who served with Chairman Farmer on the commission or county government or Blount County schools? Which railroad did you work with? Norfolk Southern Railway?
Is it working? Yeah, it should be. Okay, Jerome.
State of Tennessee House of Representatives proclamation. Whereas it is fitting that the members of this legislative body should specifically recognize those outstanding citizens who have devoted their careers to providing the highest quality learning environments for Tennessee students. And whereas Gary Farmer is one such estimable individual who has distinguished himself as a professional of the greatest dedication, ability, and integrity. Whereas after 25 years of exceptional service, Mr. Farmer is taking a much-deserved retirement this year, leaving behind an indelible legacy. Whereas Gary Farmer has rendered sterling service as the Director of Maintenance for Blount County School System, and whereas Mr. Farmer has also served faithfully for 16 years as a member of the Blount County Board of Commissioners, where he currently holds the position of Chairman, and whereas Gary Farmer is an extremely talented and compassionate professional who has worked assiduously to help Blount County Schools in its effort to provide every child with an adequate learning environment. Whereas Mr. Farmer has truly served as an inspiration to his colleagues at the central office, and his friendship and counsel are highly valued by those who are fortunate to know him. Whereas Mr. Farmer epitomizes the dedicated professional who is wholly committed to the highest ideals of public service, and he should be specifically recognized. Now, therefore, I, Beth Harwell, Speaker of the House of Representatives of the 110th General Assembly of the State of Tennessee, at the request of, in conjunction with Representative Jerome Moon, Representative Bob Ramsey, Senator Art Swan, do hereby proclaim that we honor Gary Farmer on the occasion of his retirement, salute his professional expertise and personal excellence, and wish him all the best in his future endeavors. Proclaimed in Nashville on this 11th day of April 2018, signed by the Speaker, Beth Harwell, Jerome Moon, Dr. Ramsey, and Senator Swan.
Thank you. I got hoodwinked. I normally know what's coming. This time I didn't know what was coming. I said I got hoodwinked, Mr. Hammondtree. I didn't know what was coming this time. Okay. Thank you very much, Powell.
Ready for E?
I can't, it would have been, it would have been better.
What if I had become tonight?
Well, we'll have waited till next Thursday. Okay, let's see, where are we? The next item, there is no unfinished business. Next item is item F, new business. There are no budget transfers. Item F2. There is one budget increase. Resolution 1805001, General County, Blount County Sheriff's Office, $63,457. Chair would stand for motion to forward that.
So moved, Mr. Chairman. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Lewis, second by Commissioner Robbins. Seeing no lights, please vote to forward.
Mr. Chairman, there are 16 yes votes.
That item will be forwarded to the commission. Next item is item F3. There are two other budget items. The first 3A is Morganton Road Interlocal Agreement revision to the exhibit. Chair will entertain a motion to forward to the commission.
So moved.
Commissioner Carver, is there a second? Commissioner Farmer seconds. Commissioner Crowe, you recognize, sir?
Yes, I have a couple questions, Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask, and maybe you could answer or get me some help on them.
What's your question?
One is, I would like to know if the city's planning on putting sidewalks down Morganton on their part.
Mayor, do you know? Mr. Hedrick, do you know? You recognize, sir?
Mr. Coe, at this point in time, it's in design or will be shortly in design. That is a possibility for it to be sidewalk, but that's not completely determined yet. But it is in the thought process.
Yes, sir.
The second is, now, that is the busiest road that we keep up. Is that correct?
Say it's one of them. Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Hedrick.
And one more.
Commissioner, you recognize?
Does the county, I'm just looking at trying to control some traffic up through there. Does the county ever do sidewalks?
Mr. Hedrick?
In the past, we haven't. So the answer is no. Going forward, would we look at different criteria? You know, if that falls within the 60-40, which ours is the 40, would that be a recommendation in that drawing going forward? It possibly could be. So if that's in that funding, that is something we would look at.
So we'll get another chance to look at this.
Mr. Hedrick, do you know?
Where we're at this state, Commissioner Crowe, is we've established going forward, Blount County is the leader and the owner of this project, and we have reestablished the 60-40, 40% being the county. So we're at the process now where we need to move forward and get this on the street.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hedrick. Seeing no more lights, no more questions, please vote to forward.
Mr. Chairman, there are 17 yes votes.
That item will be forwarded to the commission. Next item is Resolution 1805002, grant application for the Highway Transportation Alternatives Program. Chair will stand for a motion to forward to the commission.
So moved.
Commissioner Carver.
French.
Who is that? Commissioner French. Seeing no lights, please vote to forward to the commission.
Mr. Chairman, there are 14 yes votes and 2 no votes.
That item will be forwarded to the commission. Next item is appointments. For A, Veterans Affairs Committee appointments. Chair will stand for a motion to send to the commission. Commissioner French, Commissioner Robbins. Seeing no lights, please vote to forward to the commission.
Mr. Chairman, there are 16 yes votes and 1 no vote.
Thank you. That item will be forwarded. Next item is 5, resolution number 1805013, a resolution to correct the premium rate structure for dental plan, Blount County government. Chair will entertain a motion to forward to the commission.
So moved. Second.
Who was that?
Commissioner Aker, did you make that motion? Commissioner Stinnett, do you care to push your motion button again, please? I think someone registered before you did, so it still didn't go in.
Who's that?
And who made the
Commissioner
second?
Stinnett moved.
Okay.
Commissioner Stinnett moved. Commissioner Carver second. Is moved to forward resolution 1805013 to the commission. Please vote.
Mr. Chairman, there are 17 yes votes.
That item will be forwarded to the commission. Next item is item F6, proposed Blount County Government Employee Handbook Military Policy Update. Chair will stand for a motion to forward to the commission.
So moved.
Commissioner Carver, second by Commissioner Stinnett. Seeing no lights, please vote to forward.
Mr. Chairman, there are 17 yes votes.
Motion carries. That will be forwarded to the commission. Next item. Change page. Is item F7, proposed Blount County Government Employee Handbook Background Check Policy Amendment. Chair will entertain a motion to forward. Commissioner Stinnett. Second by Commissioner Lewis. Seeing no lights, please vote to forward to the commission.
Commissioner Bowers? That's okay. Mr. Chairman, there are 17 yes votes.
Motion carries. That will be forwarded to the commission. Next item is item F8. Chair will entertain a motion to forward proposed employee handbook drug testing policy amendment to the commission. Commissioner Stinnett, Commissioner Carver seconds. It is moved and seconded to forward employee drug testing amendment to the commission. Please vote forward.
Mr. Chairman, there are 17 yes votes.
Motion carries. That item will be forwarded to the commission. Next item is item F9, resolution number 1805014, a resolution to affirm the General Assembly's repeal of Chapter 589 of Private Acts of 1949 and any other acts amendatory thereto relative to pyrotechnics. Chair will stand for a motion. Commissioner Bowers moves. Commissioner French seconds. Commissioner Carver, you're recognized, sir.
Just wanted to ask a couple of questions here. So we are repealing everything in this in its entirety. So we'll have no regulations, period. It can be minors shooting off fireworks, people are intoxicated or impaired. They can do whatever they want. They can shoot in high dense neighborhoods. I just would like to get some answers on that. I see a lot of concerns here. People living in areas that may have some health issues to where the fumes from the fireworks may cause some issues, putting them in respiratory distress and in hospital. I myself worked in a level 1 trauma center and had to take people off ventilators from incidents with fireworks or explosives. So I've got a lot of concerns here. With us taking this without no type of regulations at all, is it putting our county at liability if there is an incident after this? And I'd like to direct that to the sponsor.
Let me recognize Commissioner Bowers. Do you understand the question, sir?
I think so. Mr. Carver, I respect your background, your medical background, but you know what? People are already shooting fireworks off under those conditions, and this basically repeals the Private Act of 1949. And back in the fall, we sent an urging resolution to our state legislator urging them to repeal this act. And I'd like to thank Mr. Moon and Mr. Ramsey and Mr. Swan for carrying bills in both houses to do so. They did that, got that repealed. It is now our job to affirm that, and nothing will take place until we affirm that by a 2/3 vote at our commission meeting. We got to get it on the agenda for tonight. And then, as the way I understand it, it has to be sent to the Secretary of State to be signed before anything takes place. So there will be time, if we want to regulate them like you're talking about, we can institute that at the proper date. And I don't know if that answers your question, but I was going to speak to the fact that I'd like to see this move forward and get put on the agenda for our next week's. And at that time, we do have to have a 2/3 vote to affirm what our legislators have accomplished for us. And once again, I'd like to thank them for their hard work.
Do you have a, you recognize?
Commissioner Carver, you're recognized for the second time, sir.
So in the letter from the attorney, it was if we have any further questions to let him know. So I would like to have that question answered before we vote on it. If we repeal without any type of regulations, is the county liable? And I think that's a fair question for us. And just with people, if we had something in place now and then it's all taken away that people can do whatever they want with no type of regulations, I just find a lot of concerns with that. And then with that also, I'd like to make a motion that we send this to the Emergency Medical Service Board to review, to kind of mitigate what would be happening. To just say we were going to repeal this and not let them be aware that this is going to be happening, at least let us be prepared on what things that could be expected in the future. So would that be the fire department, the police department, the hospitals, and just help us to have an understanding of what they're going to, we could expect. You think it's funny?
Well, excuse me. So I have a motion from Commissioner Carver to forward to Commissioner, where you want to forward it to?
We can't do anything to forward it to the full committee. The full committee can forward it to the other committee if they would like. Our job is to forward it to the full committee.
Or not?
Well, I still would like to,
One of the things, Commissioner, let me address a couple of things that you raised, because one of the things that has to be done before this, what we have to do is affirm what the General Assembly has already done. They have already done what we asked them to do. What they're requiring us to do in the bill is to affirm that decision. It has to be certified to the Secretary of State before it becomes effective. My understanding is it's the intent to bring another resolution in July that would grant this body the authority to regulate the sale, distribution of fireworks. Right now, as the law stands right now, Title 68, which is Fire Marshal, is in total control over pyrotechnics. I don't know if that answered your question, but all we're trying to do is send it forward. That's the only authority we have, is to send it forward to the commission, or not.
so the one, I will just
Your
ask
motion would be out of order.
one time. I would like that question answered by the county attorney, if that would put us at liability or not. I think that's a fair question.
You still have the floor, Commissioner.
That's all.
Thank you. Commissioner Aker, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It appears as if the Tennessee Code annotated listing in the resolution is spelling forth our desire to regulate the sale, distribution, and use of fireworks in accordance with state law, and specifically lists it out there. It doesn't appear to be an open-ended thing because of that, to me, since it specifically lists that Tennessee Code annotated 68-101. That's all. Thank you.
Commissioner Stinnett, you recognize for the first time, sir.
Chairman, I just wanted to respond to the humor over here. Mr. Aker did not think it was funny. I may just, under my breath, said that we're just trying to keep him from getting a ticket, and he laughed. So it was not something that was funny. But your fair question that was being asked there is, are we liable because we do have this local law, and it's very obvious we're not enforcing it. So we may be just as liable that direction as we are if we do pass this. So we need to do some investigating between now and next Thursday for sure. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Carver, you've already spoken twice, sir. But my understanding is it would still be illegal in Alcoa. Commissioner Bowers, you recognize, sir, for the second time.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to reiterate what Mr. Stinnett said. You know, I've thought about that before. Are we not liable now? Could the county not be held liable now since fireworks are illegal in Blount County? So that is a concern that I really didn't bring out, but, you know, it was on my mind. And as Commissioner Akers said, that this, you know, this is not open-ended. If we pass this by 2/3 vote, it will fall under Title 68, Chapter 104, just like everything else. And you still have to petition the State Fire Marshal's office to get a permit for like the Duck Pond and Blackberry Farm and wherever else they shoot them. My concern was to make it legal for the average citizen. They call it Class C fireworks, and that's just my whole motive bringing this resolution. Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing no lights, please vote to forward to the full commission.
Mr. Chairman, there are 15 yes votes and 2 no votes.
That item, motion carries. That item will be forwarded to the full commission. Next item is F10, resolution number 1805015, resolution that approves an agreement which extends beyond the end of the current fiscal year for online subscription services with LexisNexis. Chair will stand for a motion forward. Commissioner Bowers. Commissioner Lewis seconds. Seeing no lights, please vote to forward.
Mr. Chairman, there are 17 yes votes.
Motion carries. That item will be forwarded to the full commission. Next item is F11. Well, that was pulled. F11 was pulled. Next item is item F12. Chair will stand for a motion to forward to commission. Item F12, set a public hearing on June 12th at 6 p.m. room 430 Blount County Courthouse regarding a request to amend the zoning map from R1 Rural District 1 to C Commercial at 3720 East Lamar Alexander Parkway. Commissioner French moves. Is there a second? Commissioner Farmer seconds.
No, it's not.
Huh?
Is that matching now, isn't it? Yes. Okay, something. Okay.
On 12.
Yes, 12.
You're on 12.
Yes.
We skipped 11. Yeah.
Yeah, we skipped 11. 11 was pulled.
Yeah. We skipped 11, so we're good.
Is everybody on the right one now? This item F12, which is to set a public hearing for 6 p.m. June 12th, room 430. That's prior to the agenda committee. Everybody clear on that? Okay.
Is that good?
Okay. Please vote.
Mr. Chairman, there are 17 yes votes.
That motion carries. Next item is, make sure we're on the right one, F13, which is setting a public hearing on June the 12th at 6:15 p.m. Blount County Courthouse for rezoning requests from R2 Rural District 2 to PRRD Planned Rural Resort District for multiple tracts of land on East Millers Cove Road and Loop Road, Wallen, from R1 to PRRD for properties on Old Wallen Highway. Chair will entertain a motion to set that hearing. Commissioner Bowers moves. Commissioner Farmer seconds. Any discussion? Seeing no lights, please vote, please.
Mr. Chairman, there are 17 yes votes.
The motion carries. Next item is G, announcements and statements. The Veterans Affairs Committee will meet tomorrow, May 9th at 4:30 p.m. in Blount County Courthouse, room 315. The regular commission will meet next Thursday, May 17th at 7 p.m. in Blount County Courthouse, room 430. An audit committee meeting has been scheduled for next Thursday, May 17th at 5 p.m. in the Blount County Courthouse, room 430. Also on May 17th, in honor of Miss Rhonda Pitts, Commission Assistant Retirement, there will be a reception from 2 o'clock to 3:30 p.m. in the clerk's office, and another from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. in the Blount County Courthouse, room 433. She's so special, we're going to do it twice. Any other announcements? What do we got here?
Brad. Is Brad Evans?
Yes. Commissioner Bowers, you recognize, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I meant to say this a minute ago. One of the things I've been thinking about if we get this fireworks repealed is when we start receiving revenue from it. I don't know how much that'll be. It may not be a lot. But I would like to see a fund set up for our Veterans Department to be used at their discretion in helping veterans in any way that they see fit. And I would just like to make that statement. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Commissioner French, you recognize, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As some of you are aware, I've been away for about 2 weeks up in Kentucky, and I've had some family illness up there, and I'd like to express my gratitude for your thoughts and prayers. We really appreciate your concern. Thank you.
Commissioner Farmer, you recognize, sir.
Yes, sir. I'd like to recognize Road Superintendent Hedrick, please.
Come. Commissioner. Superintendent Hedrick, you recognize, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I come before this body with a situation, albeit a good situation, but under time constraints. So hopefully you've read the information that was in your packet about the recycling, which is going unbelievably well. People are very pleased and contributing every day, and the numbers are growing. So it's something to be very proud of. So with that being said, we have been looking for various different spots across the county to expand our convenience centers and expand recycling to areas that may be further away from the MacArthur Road. So a week and a half ago, we were paid a visit by TDEC, Solid Waste Division, and we were very pleased that they said this was probably one of the best facilities in the state. They were just caught off guard by it completely. So you all are to be commended for that as well. But with that being said, they, after that visit, reached back out to me and set up another meeting yesterday. And so there is a waste reduction grant that is out there. It's $500,000, 50-50 match. The time constraint is this grant application is due by the end of this month. Going to be a lot of work put into, going back through and then figuring infrastructure and so on and so forth, equipment, the compactors again. So we feel like we can put that together. We feel like we can get the grant prepared and have that in on time. So, but at this point, all we're doing is applying for the grant. And then we'll come back to this body, obviously, for your approval. And probably you should expect to see that in July, would be my opinion. But it is a very good thing for Blount County. If we could get this grant and get another facility online, I think we'd be doing great service to the citizens that we're already doing now with the first one. As far as the match, for information there, I would direct that to Mr. Vineyard, if he would like to interject that part.
Mr. Vineyard.
The funding as far as the match.
Since the nature of the grant is to buy equipment and stuff, which would be non-recurring, my recommendation, if we're awarded the grant, that we would use fund balance from the general fund to match the grant.
Thank you, Mr. Vineyard. Mr. Hedrick?
That's all.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mr. French?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know it's a matching grant. Is it half, is it 250, 250, or is it 5-5?
Mr. Hedrick?
250, 250. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Hedrick. Anyone else? Seeing no lights, next item is public input on items not on the agenda. Seeing no hands, that concludes our agenda. If there is no objection, this meeting is adjourned. Hearing no objection, we are adjourned.